Are you still on the fence about going gray? Well, today we're going to be discussing the pros and cons of gray hair. And I've got my list here, and I'm not going to lie, I think we have more pros than cons. So if you're interested, please keep watching. So if you saw my last video deciding to go gray, you'll know that I had mentioned several different factors that play a role in that decision process. And it can either be a pro or a con, but let's take for instance, what kind of support system you have. If you've got a very, they're excited for you, they're encouraging you, that's going to make the journey a lot easier. But if you've got the people around you that are negative about it, it's really going to start making you doubt your decision to do this. Another thing that can happen is having to deal with negative comments. I don't know why it happens, it just does. I look at it one of two ways. Is maybe it came from somebody whose heart was in the right place. They just really didn't think about what they were saying, and they really didn't mean to hurt your feelings. And that happens. I mean, we've all done that, and in that case you just need to cut them some slack. But if it comes from somebody who doesn't even care about your feelings, that's a whole different situation. You're dealing with somebody that has insecurities that, it makes no sense, but they need to put somebody down in order to elevate themselves. And if you think about it, then it really isn't even about you. So you have to just learn to consider the source and really learn to value your own opinion more than the opinion of others. Because I know it's difficult, but you're going to run into these kinds of situations, and you have to give yourself that strength from within. And then there's societal views as a whole, and their attitude towards aging and ageism. Our culture has just programmed us to think, okay, gray hair is related to old, and then somehow old is something bad. And that really needs to change, because we're fortunate to get old. We're fortunate to have the choice of whether or not we dye our hair or let it go gray, because so many people don't have that choice. When you look at young people, young and even teenagers, they think 30-year-olds are old. So it's all about perception, and this was something taught to us at a very young age. You look at the books and the stories that little kids have, where the little old lady is depicted as a woman wearing her gray hair up in a bun. And it's just what's happened to all of us, and it's going to now take a little bit of deprogramming. And what's ironic is that gray hair does not just affect people as they get older. Some people start getting gray hairs when they're teenagers. Some go gray in their 20s or their 30s. So it has to start with our perception of all of that. That gray hair is part of the uniform of being old. But the most important thing is to ask yourself, How do you feel about gray hair? Are you excited about the journey? You know, excited about seeing how your gray starts coming in? Or are you afraid? Are you afraid that it's going to make you look older? Are you afraid that once it comes in, you're not going to like it? And one thing to know is that every gray head is unique. You know, it depends on what your original color was. The white ratio to the original hair color is going to make you have a different look, as well as your own individual patterns. So I think some women are thinking, oh, I want to look like her, and then they see their hair come in and it doesn't look like that. Well, guess what? There's techniques that you can use to actually, you know, change your hair up. And I think we need that. We're always wanting to do different things with our hair, and we love having options and the flexibility. That's not going to change once you get gray hair. So know that if it's not coming in the way you want it to, you can do things to tweak it so that you get the look that you want. Please check out my video, Getting the Gray Hair That You Want. And I do go into detail on some of those techniques and how they can maybe address certain issues that you may find yourself in. Now on to some of the pros. I am very happy to see this shift, this movement in women embracing their grays. And like I had mentioned earlier, I think we have the beauty trends to thank for that. And, you know, women wearing gray hair and it being very, very glamorous. It's just redefining gray as beautiful. And I'm not sure how long that trend has been. I want to say 6-7 years, and I'm not sure how long trends, you know, what the lifespan of a trend is, but it's still going pretty strong. So that's saying something. Along with this movement, again, as I mentioned in my last video, there are a lot of support groups popping up everywhere. So if you are one of those women in the category of not having a strong support, you know, the nucleus, the people around you are not providing you support, it's so easy now to find a support group online. And sometimes, well, I think all the time, the ones that are going to help you the most, the people that can help you the most are the ones that are also going through the same exact thing. And we've got women ranging from in their 30s to their 80s or whatever. I'm sure, you know, I'm not exactly sure the exact ages, but a wide range of them. And one of the groups that I belong to, there are 70,000 members. So that says a lot about how, you know, people are shifting their attitudes about gray hair. And so by joining one of these groups, you can, you know, you can ask questions. You can share your story. You can ask advice. People share their stories, so you can you know, really start feeling this camaraderie with thousands of other women. So that's something that really is a very positive thing that I see going on. So once your grays have come in, you're left with healthy, shiny hair. This is your virgin hair again. And I can't tell you the last time. I don't even remember what my hair was like. It's been decades where, you know, I've been coloring it, bleaching it, perms. So we've gotten so used to our hair being stressed out because of some process or the other. So don't be surprised if your hair looks and feels great. And the final pro, which leads to a couple other pros, is not having to fight that demarcation line. I remember, like I had mentioned, how often I had to touch up my grays. And then it seemed like immediately I would see these little grays poking out. I don't know if I missed them or what, but they were just there being. And so the next time I would color my hair, I remember trying to really get them. And then you have this weird cap looking thing because you stained your scalp. So it was so frustrating. One thing that happens is all of a sudden your relationship with your demarcation line completely shifts. So all of a sudden you see, as your demarcation line grows, you start to see your grays revealing themselves, and it's so exciting. Now I love these grays there. And before, when you were always having to maintain that line, you know, you were always feeling maybe self-conscious about it and wondering if people were noticing, that sort of thing. Once you give it up, you're like, there it is. It's crazy how that changes by not having to always be masking that line. You're saving yourself money. So now you have a little bit more money in your pockets. You're saving yourself some time because you're not sitting in a hairdresser waiting for your hair to get done. So you've got a little bit more time on your hands. For me, with the flaky, dry, itchy scalp, you know, I don't have that anymore. My hair and my head feel just fine. So those are all of the pros and the cons that I've came up with. I think that there are probably a lot more. So if you can think of any that you'd like to share, please leave those in the comments. Also, please check out my next, it's 2 videos. It's going to be a 2-parter where I am going to discuss how to go gray fast without cutting your hair. And this talks about step by step the technique that I'm using to transition my hair to gray. So thank you for watching my video. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up. And if this content is something that you are enjoying, please subscribe. Have a great day.